Welcome to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about MBA, getting into the top 10 B schools. I'm not talking about schools ranked between rankings 100 to 200. I'm talking about the top 20, top 10 B schools all over the world. And this is true for them. I've been attending a lot of conferences, online events that's been happening for these universities. As you know, due to COVID-19, everything's moved online for a while. So those events that used to be offline, they're currently happening online. Everything is happening, basically on the fly, right? So what I usually do is, I would probably have gone and attended some of these events in person physically. But because these were online, I attended them online and I have some experience that I want to share with you. Okay, some of these questions are really, really important. And, the most common one that I see students really, really struggle with this is that if you're going for an MBA program, should you have more than 4 or 5 years of work experience, or can you go to the MBA program even with maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of work experience? Okay, so that's what I'm going to clarify. Now, before I actually begin, I want to tell you that we have the class profiles of each and every university. Okay, you can go ahead and you can actually check out vimegrad.com. As soon as you open up the page, you will see that you can go on to any university you like. Let's say, this university over here, and you can click on business. As soon as you click on business, you will be able to see all of these things. What is the average GPA? What is the, average work experience, average GMAT score, average GRE scores for this program for, that this university is offering. So this is essentially the class profile of this university. These are the kind of people who get in. Like, this is an average. Okay, so you can use this to your advantage. But over here, let's say you look at the work experience part, and let's say that it says maybe that the work experience is around 60 months. That's 5 years of work experience. Now, this is a question that everyone has in their minds. Maybe you have 2-3 years of work experience. Should you go? Now, I'll tell you about this depending on your work experience. Okay, number one, if you have 0 years of work experience, let's say you just did your bachelor's, background could be anything. Could be, bachelor's in business administration, or could be bachelor's in a technical field, or anything else really, even, social science or anything. If you've done that and you don't have any work experience, I would not recommend that you apply to at least the top 100, top 50 universities, top 50 B schools. Because see, the thing is, even if you have excellent GMAT scores, it's not that they won't accept you into the program just because you don't have experience. It's because you won't benefit from the program as much. And let me explain what I mean by that. Let's say you finish the program and now you want to look for a job. Now you want to get a job, and there are some companies, and most companies actually, when they're looking for applicants with MBAs, they want to see applicants with leadership experience. They want to see that have you managed someone in the past, or have you done any, basically have you held any leadership positions in the past. And the thing is that a lot of times, because you don't really have any experience, in most cases, 99% of the cases, the answer is going to be no. Or even if you've managed someone, it's not going to be on a professional level, dealing with actual clients. Maybe it's in school or in college, that's not going to count so much. So you see, you're not going to be able to get a job after you actually graduate. In fact, companies like Amazon, they have this requirement that you need to have minimum 2 years of work experience. Otherwise, they won't even consider you for the interview process. So that's really the part which comes in about the work experience. You need to have at least some work experience. I would recommend at least 2 to 3 years before you go ahead and you're applying to the MBA programs, especially the top universities. Okay, now the case comes, and this is about, let's say, the people with 2 to 3 years of work experience. Should you go ahead and apply? Now, this is very, very subjective actually. Now, these universities, these top universities, would be looking at quality more than they would be looking at quantity. So they don't really need that, you should have 5, 10, 15 years of work experience. That's not always required. Those are just averages. But if you have some significant work experience, personally, I know that I was listening to the one of these events. I think it was at University of Pennsylvania. And they mentioned that, we admitted an applicant last year who actually had and basically only 2 years of work experience, but this work experience was very, very good in terms of the quality. See, what they're looking for in your work experience is leadership skills. So this particular person had started their own startup in their bachelor's college itself, and they had made it very big. Within 1.5 years, they were doing $100,000 in revenue. And you can see that that's a big amount. And just that one person, if that person was able to scale the startup to that amount, you know, it's potentially because he has good leadership skills. Of course, this person also had his own team, he was hiring and everything, and he was basically doing pretty well. So that's really what mattered in that case. He got into the program, one of the top 10, 15 universities in the US, especially for business programs, and he got in, and it was all on the basis of his experience, qualitative experience, leadership skills. He only had 2 years of work experience, but that 2 years were very, very rich in leadership, and that's what the committee was looking for. Okay, so that's the case about the leadership experience. You don't really need, an insane amount of experience, but if you have some quality in terms of leadership, or have you managed some people, how you survived for so long, maybe you scale the company, that kind of a thing will count as well. Now, let's say that you're someone with 3 to 4 years of work experience. In that case, it's okay. You can go ahead and apply. Anyone with more than, I would say, 3.5 to 4 years of work experience, you should consider applying. Try to get a good GMAT score. Good GMAT score would be along the lines of 680, 670. Anything above that would be good. And if you're taking the GRE test, anything above 315, 320 is really, really good for an MBA program. Okay, so these are the things which matter. I just wanted to clarify, this information, it's all that I've got by attending events, the universities. You can actually go ahead and do that as well. But you know what? You don't really have the time for that. That's okay. I'll give you all the information you need. All you need to do, click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and we'll make sure that every single information that you need reaches you in time. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day and take care.